All right, it's Tuesday. The red light is on. We are live, and welcome back, Elle Dawson. Elle, how are you?
It's been way too long since I've been on a Tuesday show.
I know
Happy to
we
be back.
have missed you. How's life, Elle?
It's busy. It's busy. I'm competing this weekend for the first time in almost 3 years. So
Stole my thunder. Stole my thunder. It's not even just Elle Dawson's back week. It's Elle Dawson. I don't want to say fight week. Can I say grappling week or can I say fight week?
Not really a fight week.
Grappling week. We're grappling. We're grappling.
I get to see Dave this week. I get to see Dean Toole this week.
What?
Like, what a week. What a week for me.
Not even that. We'll get into it. We have an absolute packed show, but we'll definitely get into so much. Not even just how busy you and myself will be this weekend, commentating not one show, but two shows, you doing content and then just grappling your tail off. We have not this Saturday coming up is an all-timer. UFC Noche, which we'll get into in a second. I will get into UFC Noche in a second, but then also Canelo Crawford, the first ever under this TKO banner, a major fight. I heard 67,000 tickets have sold, Elle. 67,000 have been sold. So I'm telling you, it's a big one. It's an absolute big one.
No, boxing, like, I understand why Dana wants his fingers in the pot of boxing right now, because it's just there's a historic fan base in the sport, and honestly, I feel like it's only going to improve the sport. They have stars like Callum Walsh now, and I feel like
co-main event, by the way,
is such a superstar. I remember when you were in Vegas when they had, I believe they had the UFC at the Sphere, right?
Yeah.
And somehow there were more people just in the hotel lobby waiting for Canelo to show up than there were at a huge UFC media day. Like, this is going to be such a massive event.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Grant, we'll get into that in a very second, my dear friend. Hopefully everything is good in your world. Grant Dawson fighting there, its last chance to stay unbeaten. I don't know about that one. I guess, spoiler alert, I'm all in with Diego Lopez. I got me the underdog. Spoiler alert. So I got Diego Lopez. We'll get into that. Big show, packed show. But back to the Canelo thing. Yeah, I was lucky enough. It was a year ago. Literally a year ago was Noche at the Sphere. And then, Canelo versus, let's just be honest, his name was Egner Berlanga. Not the biggest name in the boxing scene, just kind of another young and up-and-comer guy. Analogy-wise, I would say like almost like Huffy, like Mauricio Huffy, like, not ranked, but a good name, a high riser. So same, Diego gets it. Dude, Grant Dawson.
Riding high on Diego this week.
Dude, we'll get into that. Wait a second. Our main man. Hey, David, I just got my care package. Thank you so much. Dude, there you go. I told you. If you love the...
Oh, we love you, Chad. Thanks for watching.
For sure. So yeah. I'm getting text. I misspelled something. I'm sorry if I misspelled someone's name wrong. I'm sorry. But long story short, dude, Canelo's crowd, the people, his fan affair, I was blown away. I was lucky enough to be in the media of that side and like doing questions and Q&As, and they had like these grand arrivals. The wait, like, how they do those shows for live weigh-ins, and they did one for Noche. It was really cool. As well. And I was there at both. So I was there at Canelo and then there at Noche at night. The weigh-in for Canelo was like double, triple of what UFC. And I'm a UFC guy. I'm a MMA over boxing guy. So crazy.
No, I am too. It's just like, and I've never been a big boxing person. Let's go. We love Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee's awesome. But yeah, I've never been a huge boxing fan. Like, I've probably tuned in for maybe 2 or 3 major boxing events over my entire lifetime.
Yeah.
And so it's still not lost on me how huge the sport is and how big it will remain. Like, I feel like people may be even unhappy with the way boxing has been going, just the industry overall for the last like 5 to 10 years. But they still tune in. These are some of the most loyal fans from what I've seen.
For sure. With that being said, I guess I didn't know we were going to start here. Like I said, we have 4 or 5 guests. Guys, if you haven't seen Paperweight on Amazon Prime, go see that. We're going to have the director, Andrew Oliver, in the second hour. Of course, we got G. We have Bandana Anna. probably the coolest nickname in all of MMA. I'm sorry. I used to know her as Anna Crutchfield. She got married, so it's Anna Melisano.
That's a great one.
Melisano. So she's coming on the show. She has got a big win at Fury 109. She's 5-1. We got a girl, Destiny McCubbin, at 130. So pack show. But Elle, are you going to be watching Canelo Crawford live?
Well, I probably am going to be grappling at the same time, aren't I?
Well, that's funny you said that. I kind of did forget about that. We do have plans. We will be watching it live at Dean's house afterwards. I guess the grappling show is more of like it's more of a day thing, day, light, even, where Island Fights is more of a night-ish show.
I have no idea. I don't know what I'm showing up to be completely honest with you. I'm just happy to be here. No, I was kind of hoping that it would be over early enough that I wouldn't be missing Noche and I want to see this fight. It's very clear that I want to see a boxing fight.
Yeah. Okay.
I look forward to it, but I think this excites me. It really does.
All right. So let me push this button. Like I said, there's both of these, these are the headliners, and I'm telling you guys, I love Lopez versus Silva. Love it. It's actually going for the next 2, 3, 4 months. It's one of my favorite fights. It's in the top 2, 3 fights. There's monster pay-per-views ahead. I love this fight. But I will say this, Ellen, I'm just going to throw this out there. I don't know if you're seen it or are as with me at all, especially it's not even just a fight night. All right, guys, think about Noche. What Noche did a couple years ago was like the first kind of gimmicky little bit of a card in a while, and it was awesome. A lot of Mexican fighters, great card. And then they did it in the Sphere. It was one of the great UFC events of all time. Of course, it was a pay-per-view. And now this one, and they tried to make it happen in Mexico and Guatemala. It didn't work. Made it in San Antonio. I'm going to call a spade a spade. The rest of the card is It's a weak fight night card. Like, I'm just going to be honest here. It's what we do here at this show. The Noche's kind of weak. Throwing it out there.
I'm looking at it right now.
What's the co-main event, El?
It's Rob Font and David Martinez. I know.
And who?
David Martinez. How do you not know David Martinez? Dude's a freaking doctor.
A co-main event on a Noche card, though?
It's because he lives and trains in Mexico. And maybe the reason why this card seems lackluster is because the goal was to put this card in Mexico. But it's not great. I agree. It's not there's not a lot of name value here. There's some great fights. I think
really good
Rafa Garcia and Jared Gordon's going to be a really fun fight. I think.
How about Diego Fierro versus
Alex Hernandez?
Yeah, sign me up. Love the fight.
But I will agree with you. We normally think of Noche as a bigger card. Sphere card was.
Thank you.
Has it always been like that? Has UFC Noche always been a huge card, or are we just associating it with the Sphere now? And that card obviously was massive because it was the first card ever at the Sphere.
The first one, I believe, was Valentina versus Grasso. That's a world championship fight on it.
But that was at the Sphere, right? You're talking about the first.
The first one. So, like, we've had world championship fights on a fight night, which rarely happens. Like, the Noche name had a lot of, I think pizzazz. Yeah, like, again, a fight night card, I'm fine with. But if you're going to say, hey, we're Noche, and you have this cool poster in the background with the colors, it's like, oh, that's Noche. The main event's awesome. I'm not taking anything away from this main event. The rest of the card is
But it is a fight night. Like, this is not a pay-per-view.
So was the first one, El Dawson. So was the first one. Then we got a world championship fight at.
Are you sure? There was a world championship fight on a non-pay-per-view card that wasn't Demetrius Johnson?
100%. Oh, come on. Don't make fun of my DJ.
Poor Demetrius.
Dude, I got a DJ post ready to happen. I'm ready to talk about some Dimitri. Dude.
Underrated guy. He never deserved to be that guy, but for a long time, he was the only champ that ever had to defend his belt on a
Didn't they do Dillashaw and someone who was the Boston card? I think it was the first Fox night. Anyways, look at it. Shout out DJ Marab. Marab Dvalishvili is one of the best lower weight, maybe the best bantamweight fighter of all time. Now you're training with the greatest flyweight ever. Come on. Like Corey Sandhagen's got zero chance. It's over. He's got zero chance.
It is like, honestly, no. DJ can emulate anybody. Like, I feel like he is such a versatile skill set. It's not
he can be Francis Ngannou.
a Corey Sandhagen fighting style, but just the level of elite that DJ is, like that's a great training room right there.
Yeah, that's so good. And I think that's actually the training room that our girl Destiny McCubbin is at. So we'll talk to her in a little bit. But Farid
or
Farid?
He's running a little bit late from training, guys. We're going to bump him after Destiny. But he's letting me know right now. So yes, we're gonna have him on at 140. So
all right. So Mr.
Training schedules are crazy, guys. We'll get him on. We'll get him on for sure.
Basharat's 13-0, 4-0 in the UFC.
Dude, you know what happened at his last fight, right?
No, give it to him.
Guy missed weight by like 10 pounds, and he just fought him anyway. The guy literally weighed in like almost 10 pounds heavier than Farid did,
and still smashed.
I don't even know if we'll ask him. We'll ask him about it later. Yeah. But like, dude's a savage, and smashed the guy, by the way.
I love that, dude. His first UFC fight was Damon Blackshear, who's a stud in his own right. Beat him. So shout out. Can't wait to talk to Mr. Basharat. Isn't Canelo versus Crawford equal to Jake Paul versus Tank weight wise? Consider the abuses. No. Way extra, guys. Canelo and Crawford, and this is boxing wise to MMA. It's almost like a lightweight to a welterweight. It's kind of like in that 15-pound range.
Face off. It's not. They don't look.
Yeah.
Different.
Canelo's definitely thicker. His legs are ginormous. Like he has. I can't even Buckley's legs, quads, he's got hips. Canelo's got some a trunk, but no, like it's nothing major. It's nothing major. I think Canelo can win the fight because of the weight, but it's not like Jake Paul Tank is like Corey Sandhagen to Alex Pieta. That's what that is. Like they're not even in the same ballpark of weights. So that's Corey's going to overthink his approach to Merab, and he's going to go lose the most unexpected way. He might.
I feel like Merab is just it's got to be so different. What you prepare for and what you end up feeling. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm pretty sure Farid didn't even get a percentage of the other guy's purse. So we'll definitely have to ask him about that when he comes on. But what a savage. But yeah. No, I think the issue with Merab is people don't realize, like you can prepare for it, but then feeling it in the cage, the pace and his efficiency and the fact that once you get through that first round, that there's 4 more rounds of that. Merab is not going to slow down.
It's insane.
That's got to be such a, like, it's like drowning. Like that's
demoralizing.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to talk to our guy, Andrew Oliver, the director of Paperweight. That was the thing that got to him is the cardio. Like how, especially people don't understand if you haven't done it, you can jog around the block for 5 minutes and then get into an octagon for 30 seconds and you're just dead. Like it's not even it's not even that. I'm gonna be a little selfish here and just promote me for a second. I don't know. I put this picture, so I have this whole wall back here, but this is my favorite picture of all time. L. Look at this. Look how great this picture is.
That really is a great picture of us.
This is the Fight Bananas. Like if you look us up in the dictionary and put us in the grave one day when we sell it for $4.4 million, and when I sell out, we all make
that photo of us,
Dave? For $4.4 million.
You better.
You know what 10% of that is though?
Putting that 4 ways, right? That's 1.1 for each person in the picture.
Yeah, that's a good picture. I love it. But I can't wait. Cannot wait. It's I'm gonna hit this one. I mean, who can actually beat Merab? Because I have no one. I feel like Merab in his prime, no one's beaten him in this prime. Of course, anyone can get caught. I get it. And Sandhagen is one of those guys. But it's going to be one of those like injuries and wear and tear in his body. Guys cut into championship weight and being a lot of 5-round championship fights. Do that 5 or 7 title defenses. Your body will just naturally, organically kind of take a beating. So I think that's a picture. That's the picture they show on the careers page. Oh, I think that's a positive thing. Fighting is 5 minutes of sprinting and pacing yourself at the same time. Nothing like it. Look at that. Grant Dawson with just facts, spitting facts like always. But L, back to you. This is a grappling week. You will be making a walk. I assume you're gonna have music. We haven't got into that yet. Maybe I have to pick your own song.
I filled out a thing that says walkout music. So
So what's your walkout song?
You'll just have to be pleasantly surprised.
Dude, I can't believe I'm commentating this thing.
This is going to be the most biased commentary I apologize in advance to Jessica Henley. There's absolutely no way that Dave is not going to be the most biased person ever on the microphone.
I'm gonna walk to her before the fight. I'm just gonna look her in the eyes too. That's who I am as a person. Be like, hey, I wish you luck and good speed. Please don't get injured. But I will be commentating, and that person there is one of my favorite on this planet, and she will be winning every transition. I'm sorry. Just gonna tell her that.
She looks lovely.
She does look like a nice person. I know. She looks nice. But how is it? Are you excited? Is there kind of like, are you just like ready to kind of get back in that atmosphere and kind of be in the back and, stretch and get loose? Are you just ready for all those feelings and emotions?
Yeah, I'm just super excited to compete again. It's been literally 3 years. We went from, oh, I'm ready to fight. Oh, there are no fights for me. To, oh, I'm out with a torn ACL. To, okay, I'm healthy and I'm ready to fight again. And there are no fights for me for 3 straight years. So it's literally almost exactly a month from today in October will be 3 years since my last fight. So I've never fought as a Dawson. How weird is that? Never walked to any cage mat as Dawson. So
wow.
I'll
say that on the commentary.
Years.
I might have to interview you before the show to kind of get some nuggets.
Oh, no, I'm just excited to compete again. It'll be really, really fun. Even though it's just grappling, doesn't go on my record or anything. It's going to be a really fun time.
And how has been have you been doing anything different to get yourself ready for this, or a different training, or how has been like the last week or two for you been?
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely tried to prioritize getting more jiu-jitsu-y looking girls. MMA grappling is very different from jiu-jitsu. Like for people who really don't know, like I really am competing in a sport that I don't train in this weekend.
It's crazy.
And that's okay. Like, it's going to be really fun. Like, this girl is a jiu-jitsu practitioner. That is what she trains in. That is what she does full time. And that's not what I do full time. So I definitely have adjusted, I would say. Like, I've gotten more jiu-jitsu heavy rounds, rolled with some different people, things like that, yeah. It'll be fun. It'll be exciting.
Guys, this is not gonna happen. After watching Andrew Oliver, I'm just not gonna do it, guys. I don't have the time and effort. We got soccer practice every single night, and the kids. I just want to
see. We need to make Dave do a weight cut. That's what we need to have. We'll have the paperweight doc team.
Yeah.
Do a documentary of Dave going through an 8-week fight camp, not without the fight, just the getting in shape part.
Yeah, I would love that. I would do that. And how much weight do you think? In the 8-week cut, where would you want me to be?
Well, here first, what do you walk around at? What's your
207 right now?
207. So you'd be like
a middleweight.
Yeah, you'd be a middleweight.
Okay, so I have to make 186.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would do that. Sign me up for that.
Let's go. Yeah, you can make one, because remember, it's a lot of it. The cut is water. Tapology doesn't even know that I'm married. I need to email them.
Dude, by the way, Tapology. We are here for, what is it called when you business or make money? It's not communism. It's, capitalism. We are all in for capitalism. Okay. We want everyone to make money in the world, but what Tapology.com has done in the last 4 months with the ads. Am I right on that, Elle? It's crazy now.
So my beef with Tapology is not even the ads. Guys, I loved the old format. Format. I'm not sure why we changed it. You used to be able to, it was like every single person's the full, you didn't have to click on the event to get all the info from the event. It was what they weighed in at. Like you could see just looking at somebody's profile, I could just scroll down and be like, oh, they missed weight 1, 2, 3, 4 times. I didn't have to click on each event and see if they made weight. I loved that. I missed that. So if y'all want to bring that back, I would.
I'm
very happy.
We might have to start a new one. Like,
don't get on Tapology's bad side. Tapology is still the gold standard.
no, a tap in the gym.
For people who don't know, if anybody ever tells you that they were a professional MMA fighter, your first move should be, oh, cool, what's your first and last name? I'm going to put you into Tapology.
Yeah,
because there are a lot of people that don't know that there is a very large database for that, and they pretend like they have fights. That is a thing for some reason.
Before we get all these guests and a lot of stuff gets very quick, this past weekend, UFC Paris to me was a great show. The knockouts and the prelims were just incredible. Absolutely fun to watch. Some main stuff. Mason Jones, one of the greatest lightweights in the planet. I love how much you dislike this guy. I love it.
I don't understand.
He's really good.
Yeah, that win against a 42-year-old Jeremy Stevens is crushing it. He's a good fighter. He is a good fighter. I think he's solid. I'm interested to see him fight again. I'm very interested to see how the win over Balaji Oki ages, because Oki currently has 0 wins over a single actual UFC lightweight. He has wins over 2 featherweights that came up on short notice. So I'm kind of wondering what they plan to do with him next, and who they plan to put in that spot.
I'm more intrigued about who's next for Mason Jones. Is it Paddy Pimblett right away? Is it Gaethje next? Does he even fight Topuria for the championship?
Listen, I like Mason Jones. He's an exciting fighter. I don't think I've ever watched a Mason Jones fight.
We're joking about it. He is a fun fighter to watch. He brings it. He does bring it. But that was a great fight. My main point, what I was trying to get to before me and Elle do all of our behind the stories that no one thinks is funny, only than her and I. But Nasruddin Imavov, I thought looked awesome. I was beyond impressed. I picked him going into the fight. I thought it was wild that it was kind of a tie of -110. There wasn't really a betting favorite. I like Nasruddin in that spot. Where Sean Strickland, how crazy Sean Strickland is, but I think he's actually spot on about cutting the weight twice and doing a lot of that. I think that's a little bit to do with it. And also, guys, let me throw this out there. I said it before. Elle, you were kind of gone for that week or two. Caio's lineup, I call it lineup. That's a baseball term, but his
resume. Resume.
Yeah, his resume. Look at Caio's resume. Like, the Jared Cannonier's a good win, but Jared Cannonier's older. Caio hasn't fought in a year and didn't stop. They went to a 5-round decision. Look at Imavov's last 18 months. Like, Brendan Allen Allen, who's on fire, top 10, top 12 guys. Izzy, top 10, top 12 guys. Like, he's just doing better late. I didn't get it.
And finished Cannonier.
You're right. Like, I thought, I don't know why sometimes once in a while, once a month, I feel like, guys, what are we doing here? But I thought even where I was at, Imavov looked even better than I even thought. I just loved his counters, how he quickly. Chimaev has to be next for Imavov, right? Are you on that same page, or do you want to wait for the RDR Fluffy?
No, so Gillian and I talked about this Sunday, and she and I are in absolute agreement that Nasruddin Imavov should absolutely deserves to get this next title shot. However, we both think that that's not what the UFC is going to do. There's so much hype around Fluffy and RDR right now. I do expect them to give that next title shot to one of them. I don't think they should, but Gillian and I think that's what's going to happen. We agree.
Wow.
I don't think they should. I think Imavov deserves it, but there's a lot of hype there. There is. And there's just never, Imavov is one of the most consistently underrated guys in the UFC.
Yeah.
Even after beating a guy like Izzy, even after finishing a guy like Cannonier, people have always just kind of been like, yeah, he's there. Like, it's very weird to me because he really is world class. But I don't think it's gonna. I think we're gonna give it to winner. And I agree with someone who cares here. I think actually I like this. Caio should fight loser. Yeah, or even probably loser of Fluffy and RDR, and then.
Fight Bananas booked Caio versus Brendan Allen in December, though, already. We already booked it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that doesn't not make sense. I don't hate that. I think that Kyle,
Great Sean Sterling.
Agrees. Kyle versus Whitaker. I don't hate that. I feel like Whitaker is this like Whitaker is in a unique spot though, where you kind of he's a great litmus test for the guys that are like trying to climb up. And we kind of already we know where Kaio is. We know he's good enough to sit at the top of the division. We know he needs more wins in the top 15. He had 1 win in the top 15 before he fought Navov, who had 6.
That's what I mean. I don't mind the Whitaker thing. I honestly, I actually, we agree 98% of the times. I feel like Kyle, we don't know where he's at. Like, he looked good against Cannonier 15 months ago. So that's 1 top 15 win. Then he fought a top 5 guy. And to me, the right challenge for the championship. Lost to him pretty convincingly. Like, lost to him. So I don't know, is Kyle 3 or is he 9? Like, that's a big jump.
Right. We don't really know where he fits into the top 10.
Right. So I think him versus Whitaker is good.
I didn't say
L. Dawson.
Whitaker said Whitaker's a gatekeeper. Whitaker said, I'm not chasing a title anymore. I'm done. I'm just going to fight. That is the concession of a man who is still a world-class fighter.
I don't like that.
I don't either,
I don't like
to be honest with you. I think once you've kind of like accepted that is your role, that usually doesn't bode well. But Whitaker is still a world-class fighter, and he's still going to beat a lot of guys that aren't ready for the top 5. I love Robert Whitaker, and I hate to see him say that, you know. But I don't think he's wrong either. I do think title contention is probably gone for him, you know.
Yeah. SG. Dude, you're killing it. I did this last week with our main man, Chad Beasy. SG, message us on socials, Fight Bananas, or my personal messages, Facebook, Instagram. Figure it out. I will get to you. We're going to put a care package. We're not sending cards. I sent a t-shirt. I sent toys. I sent signed things. We'll send a care package to you, SG. Unbelievable. Real quick, I never understood this. This bothers me so much when fighters do this. I'm commentating on Friday night. I'm not going to commentate like John Anik. Like, I'm not going to do what John Anik does. I can only do the best what I do. Like, why would Kaio not fight Kaio's fight? That's so wild.
Imagov was just better. I hate this. Fighters never say this beforehand. They only say it after they lose. I wanted to stand with him. He tried to grapple. He didn't shoot to the legs enough. He was on the clinch. Imavov was so prepared and so difficult to shoot on because his range control is pretty much flawless and he's super sharp. And so Kaio decided he was going to grapple on the upper body instead of grapple on the lower body. And I think that was a game planning mistake. I don't think Kaio was like, I'm going to fight Imavov's fight. I think he just maybe needs to work on his wrestling on the legs a little bit more. Like, at least that's what I saw. I don't know. Maybe I'm off base, but I think that's something that people say after they lose.
It is funny to hear mixed martial artists, fighters, their comments after a bad loss. It's usually not.
Well, and that was still a close fight. That was still a close fight. But I think Kaio, like, it wasn't close. Like, oh my gosh, Kaio might have won that fight. Imavov clearly won the fight, but the rounds were close rounds.
Sure.
Like, maybe one was more lopsided, but for the most part, they were close rounds. Okay. And I feel like he may have just not had the ability to make as good of in-fight adjustments as other fighters can. And then maybe it was just that night. Maybe it was the weight cut. Maybe he couldn't perform because he and what Sean Strickland was saying, like, he was like, dude, he wasn't even training.
Yeah.
He was like, he was cutting weight. And it's like, that last 4 weeks of your camp is incredibly important. So maybe that is what cost him this fight. I don't know, but I definitely feel like that. I mean, he was engaging in the clinch. It's not like you saw the foot sweeps were actually really nice. I think he does that really, really well. I just would have liked to see him shoot to the legs.
Yeah.
He didn't, maybe once, twice, maybe.
This is another point. I was on it all night, and El, we weren't together. My coach Mike and I, we did a watch along. And El, I can only ask you this because it's not like the Fighting Nerds, but I would assume my similar analogy is if you and Grant were fighting on the same night, and just say Grant was the featured fight, and Grant doesn't lose much in anything in life, but somehow if he lost a split bad decision, that would, I would assume, mess with you emotionally, wouldn't it not? Like I'm upset, and I'm not a significant other. You know what I mean? Like how the Fighting Nerds just seemed like you saw Pratis
rattled after.
Yeah, like he was emotionally wrecked. You would have to assume, and then those coaches were in the same corner. So it's like, do you overhype your guy? Do you say, hey, let's move past it? Like it's just a weird spot. I really do believe that.
And I want to commend the coaching staff. Gosh, I don't care. We're never fighting on the same night.
Yeah,
that is
just crazy. Crazy.
I can't handle that level of anxiety. Yeah. That's not happening in our marriage ever. I feel like the Fighting Nerds coaching staff did I liked what they did in Kaio's corner. I think they were very honest with him. They were like while it was a closer fight, they were pretty upfront. They're like, you're down. Like, and I feel like they weren't even giving him the wrong advice. Like they seemed to be doing a very good job. But
well, El, we are absolutely packed. So let's get the first guest on. We got 5 guests coming in the next hour. So we're going to be fast and furious like Vin Diesel. Next guest, done some stuff a little bit for us on the watch along for Fight Banaz. She's got her own thing going on in Vegas. Massive fans of her. She's a slot fighter. She's doing a lot of stuff on the media side. Let's welcome in for the first time here on the show, Destiny McCubbin. What's up, Destiny?
Hey, how we doing?
Good, friend. How are you?
Good. Thank you guys for having me. Hi, Elle. Never met you yet. So I heard a lot about you. How you doing?
Good.
Elle is the heart of Fight Banaz, Destiny. She's the heart. She
Yes, I could tell. I love it.
She runs it all. So how's life? How's training in Vegas? I would assume you saw DJ and Marab training yesterday, maybe. I'll ask you that. How was that?
It was cool. I mean, like I was in jiu-jitsu and like I seen DJ like walk by the window and I'm like, is that fucking Mighty Mouse? And then here he comes walking in and yeah, I definitely had a fangirl and ask for a picture. I don't do that too often, but I definitely did. That was my first time meeting him. So, but yeah, it was cool. He was down there training with Marab. I guess he's here for like a couple of days doing some stuff with Marab. So that's cool. But yeah, things are good. Just busy, like you said, I have my podcast. I'm trying to get up off the ground. So I just got like a new studio. I'll be doing episodes once a week. I actually have Davey Grant in the house tomorrow. So that'll be good. Yeah, I'm excited. We
love Davey Grant. Davey, he's awesome. He's been on our show a couple of times. Very fun. Very good to talk to. So that's my first thing for you. I have to ask, were you always interested on this side of things of the fight game with you being an amateur fighter and MMA and slapping and everything of that nature? Have you always loved it or did it something pop to you be like, hey, I think I can do this? I seen Dave Van Auken do it once. I'm way better than him at it. How did you get on this side of it?
No, actually, it was never like I always knew I wanted to be involved in the fight game even after, I love it. I love the fight game. I have so much passion for it. So I always knew I still wanted to be involved after. And like I would think of, oh, maybe I'll do commentary, something like that. But then I got an opportunity to do ring announcing in February. And then that's how I kind of got introduced to Millions. And then Millions offered me to start doing interviews. And then so I started doing interviews and then somebody recommended, you should start a YouTube channel. So I did. And then it's just kind of been like a rolling snowball effect since. I never, like a podcast was never even in my mind at all. But then the YouTube channel, the studio sessions kind of started to turn into that. But they were still very much like my first couple studio sessions were still very much just interviews, like an interview style. And now I've been accepted the fact okay, I'm going to have a podcast. So now I've kind of tried to change the style into more of a podcast style, like conversation, which my last one with Kat Leaner was definitely that. So I was happy it's evolving into what I'm kind of going for now. So yeah, I have different ideas and plans that I want to do. Obviously, sometimes it'll still be more interview style, but On the 17th, I'm going to do kind of like a table talk session. I'm going to have 3 fighters come in: Vince Morales, Cody Steele, and Chebe Mariscal. And we'll just kind of talk about, the upcoming Marab, Cody Sanhagen fight. We'll talk about what they're doing in their careers. UFC BJJ3 will be coming up too. So I think that'll be cool. Just kind of shooting the shit, but talking fights, talking their careers, things like that.
Well, and it seems like you've just encompassed so much of the combat sports community through your channels. Like you're into the UFC BJJ now. You're into the UFC, and then also Power Slap. How did your transition into Power Slap come about?
My manager, I'm with Yanni Ruby, and he just was like, "You want to do Power Slap?" And I was like, at first, like any fighter, I'm like, was a little like against it, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. But the money's actually really good, so I was kind of like, okay. But then when I actually started training for it and preparing for it, I kind of like fell in love with it, because like I think to some people, they don't really like train for it or take it serious. But like, I think, being a fighter, things like that, like actually kind of took like a camp to it. And there is a lot of strategies to it. And I really do like it. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Power Slap is a little different though, like just the way they run things and stuff like that. So there's some things like that I don't love about it, but I take it serious. I take my camp serious. I had a good performance. I might not be the girl that they want to, put on the map or whatever, and that's fine. I don't really care as long as I'm going out there and winning, which I feel like I'm going to keep doing. So
Let's go.
This is a great question from SG.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got to ask. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm so glad, because I actually love telling people about it, because it's so much more than you think goes into it. Like, one is because so the rules are you cannot pivot you can't pivot your toes. You can lift your heel, but you cannot pivot your toes. So you got to learn how to generate power without pivoting, like that, things like that. So like I've kind of found like I like to do like a rocking motion to get my power. That's what I did today. I practiced slaps. So it sounds so funny, but literally like you just have someone hold the paddle. And like the reason for that is like, one, you want to find your range, your accuracy, like I did, like a lot of girls are fouling and stuff like that. Like, cause if you go too high, that's a foul. You go too far back, it's a foul. You go too low, that's a foul. You move your foot, you pivot your feet, that's a foul. So really you're practicing not pivoting your feet. When you're doing your slap practicing, you're practicing not generating power without pivoting your feet. You're practicing finding your range, and you're practicing so you can go on 1, 2, or 3. So you kind of decide which one you want to go on, things like that. I'm going to switch it up this time. I'm not going to tell you guys what yet, but I'm switching it up.
I would go on 1 every time. Destiny, I would go on 1. I couldn't be patient. If I'm going to, especially if someone slapped me first, to be like, okay, 1, bah, I'm coming.
Last time I did 2, 1, 2.
You have to tell your opponent when you're going though, right?
Yeah, that's all.
Yes. But 2, 1, 2. So I think, even though I think it's like a lot of people don't even switch up their count, they keep their count. But I think I found success with my 1. So I like switching it up, because when someone says 1 after they just hit you 2 on 2, you're like, oh, what the fuck, it's kind of like a shock. So I'm switching it up a little more this next time, so I'm excited. But anyway, yeah. So you obviously want to practice your range. You got to find your slap, your count, things like that. And then it's a lot of strength and conditioning, really, because you got to have that core strength to get that generating that power. You want to have strong legs, and I do a lot of band work, like resistance band, with a slapping motion, things like that. But really, it's the jaw and the neck that I think is the most important. So I do a lot of traps, and I do old school boxing shit. I get a towel in my mouth with a dumbbell, and I just do yeses and nos. My last time preparing, I got up to 30-pound dumbbell so yeah, and it showed in my performance when she slapped me, I didn't even move. My head did not move.
That's awesome. I have a question for you for this weekend. Of course, the UFC is in San Antonio for Noche. TKO Boxing is there in Vegas, Allegiant Stadium. I heard the third biggest boxing gate of all time. At least 67,000 tickets are sold, and it's only Tuesday. You're there. Do you see it? Are you buzzing? Are you going to it? Are you excited for the Canelo Crawford fight, or not really? What's your take on that?
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm a big boxing fan.
Okay, good.
And I think I think it's an amazing card. I think even, Fernando Vargas Jr. taking on Walsh as well. Yeah, that's a good fight too. I'd really like to see Fernando Vargas Jr. get it done, but that's a tough fight. Walsh is good. Canelo Alvarez and Bud. I'm Mexican, so I probably feel like you should be going for the Mexican fighter. And I love Canelo; he's a legend, obviously. But I'd really like to see Bud get it done.
Wow.
And I think if anybody can, he's the one. I really do.
I like that.
Yeah, he's coming up 2 weight classes. That's scary. But he looks great. You seen the picture?
He looks really good. Really good.
Jacked.
The size difference to me was not super, super big. So I kind of want to pull you back to like the MMA world. Obviously, you're still in the gym with super high level fighters. Have you ever thought about transitioning back to MMA? And it's been 4 or 5 years since you last competed?
Yeah, no, I am. I've been jumping into sparring a little bit. And it's on my mind. It really is. But it's a lot of commitment. Obviously, you know that. And I'm not I would never half-ass it. Fighting is so dangerous, so I would never go into it without being 100% ready to do it. And so I've been jumping into sparring, couple grappling practices. I always do jiu-jitsu, but the actual pro grappling practices. Eventually I'm going to jump into wrestling. I just got to see if I can do a wrestling practice and my heart is going to want to go through it, because if I decide to take a fight, that's 8 to 10 weeks of wrestling practices and grueling practices. Do I want to do that? I'm not 100% sure yet. I do want to fight. Of course, everybody wants wants to do that, but nobody wants to do the part that you was required to get there. And now that's a question I'm asking myself. Are you ready to commit to what it takes to actually get to the cage? And
on that topic too, what does that look like? So obviously if you were to, because you've only fought as an amateur, if you were to go over to kickboxing and take a pro match, then when you come back to MMA, you have to go pro. Does the same thing apply with power slap, or could you?
No, it doesn't, which is weird to me.
Okay,
because
different. So I kind of understand, but
yeah, because I know that there's some amateurs at the gym that were considering doing it, and I was like, so does that mean you're pro? And that's crazy to me. I think it's a little crazy, but I don't know. It's just, I guess that's how it works. Yeah, you can be an amateur, compete in slap, and then go back to the amateurs. Okay. But I'm gonna go. I definitely think I'm gonna do one more. I never went pro. I had 2 scheduled pro bouts, but both of them got canceled due to really bad injuries. And then it just was after that I was just on my way out, kind of, But now I'm back in. I'm in a better place mentally, physically healthy and stuff like that. I think I owe it to myself to at least have one pro fight, Yes. So I think I'll definitely at least do one.
When you got this bug of this side of it, me and Elle talked off air about it and stuff. I love this side of the MMA scene. It seems like in a weird way, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger with movies and podcasts. Everyone's creating content of that nature. When you got that bug, is it, are you saying how you want to maybe do the one pro fight? Would you be 100% okay if this is all you do going forward of hey, podcast, let's say a major company picks you up, Amazon Prime goes, hey, Destiny, we want your show under our banner. If you're just doing this and watch alongs and creating content, are you okay, cool. I'm cool with that. Or you still definitely want to get, you're okay.
Yeah, I am. I'm old, I'm old. I'm not old, but in the game, I'm old, 30 years old, ton of injuries.
Just had my 41st birthday, just last week,
I'm past 30. I must be ancient.
No, but you know what I mean? If I fight, it's going to be for fun. I'm all those cool dreams that you once had are not I'm not doing this to be a world champion or you in the UFC or anything like that. But yeah, if when I say I'm old, if it don't make money, it don't make sense type shit, So if I get offered something, because if I that is kind of my goal to do this and make money. Right now I'm still bartending and stuff. I'm I can't wait for the day I could quit my real job and this be my job,
Talk about it all day.
Yeah. So yeah, if I got a deal to do something or even work for a promotion, a bigger promotion, that'd be cool. The ultimate goal I think is eventually doing something within the UFC or ESPN.
I love it. I love it. Well,
a few more months, hopefully, maybe soon be Paramount.
Yeah, Paramount. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Crazy. Well, Destiny, we loved having you on. Appreciate it. We're sorry how our guest worked. We had Basharat, who's coming in now. We got just pushed all over the place, but we apologize for cutting it short. But absolutely love what you're doing. Guys, if you don't, please go follow Destiny on all of our socials. Also on YouTube, sub that channel. You got interviews dropping every week now going forward.
Yep. We got Davey tomorrow, and then the 3 guys on the 17th, and then Raquel Canuto at the end of the month, right before UFC BJJ 3.
I love it. Well, we're massive fans of you, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Yes, thank you guys so much. Have a good one.
Destiny. There you go, Destiny McCubbin. All right. One down to the next.
We got a busy show today. Let's do it.
Busy. Well, next guest, 13-0. We just talked about it the earlier show, 4-0 in the UFC, fighting on UFC 320. Trains at ATT. There you go. Push the button. Farid Basharat. Fred, how are you, sir?
What's up, guys? I'm very good, thank you. Apologies for the lateness. Sparring finished a little bit late, so I didn't want to mix anything up.
No apologies needed. We heard what you did in that sparring session. We don't want to be that person, okay? So no apologies needed, all right?
No, thank you.
But we're in the thick of it, right? We're 20 days, 3 weeks away from it. Big fight, probably the biggest so far UFC career. Chris, Gertis is a true veteran of the sport. Big fight coming up at UFC 320.
That's right. I think I have 19, 20 days left now, so I'm in a good place. I'm in a good position. I've been training very hard, obviously, at American Top Team for the last 15, 16 months. I love it down here. I really feel like I've found my team, and I'm just developing. I'm developing all my skills, and I just need to stay healthy now, get the weight down for fight night, and I feel like I'm going to have the best performance of my career.
One thing real quick, Elle, please take it away after this. With you switching to AT&T, ATT, usually that happens maybe after a loss or happens, some kind of a midlife crisis in the MMA space. And, that could happen. You didn't. The brothers didn't. You're undefeated. Seemed like nothing was going wrong. Your game looked unreal from afar. Why did you make that switch 15, 16 months ago, come down to South Florida and train at ATT? What was the catalyst of that?
I think when I was training in Las Vegas, and I was there for about almost 3 years. And Las Vegas obviously had its ups. There were some really good things about it. The Performance Institute was really good. There was an abundance of great bantamweights to train with and featherweights. The biggest problem I found there, though, was the structure. Everyone's timetable was different. Everyone's schedule was different. I had to I really had to organize my own fight camps, and every night, the night before. The next day I had to schedule my own sessions, call people up, can we do this time tomorrow? Can we do that? And it took a toll on me, and I just needed somebody to take that control away from me, because you never really want to be your own coach. It was kind of I had my coaches, Dewey Cooper and Jake Shields, they were amazing, but it was me and Javid were kind of controlling a lot of our what direction we take the camp and stuff like that. And I just felt like I needed a place that had really good structure and really good coaching all around, and ATT was the first place in mind.
And being in that room, but for those of you who are watching live, Farid and Javid, watching them train together is awesome. By the way, it's some of the highest level training you will see in a gym. But and I see you guys all the time. You're constantly working, constantly breaking things down, drilling after class, drilling before class. I feel like I always see you on the mats. Mike Brown is a guy that I think really exemplifies that. Is that why you guys have kind of attached to him at the gym, and just what is it about him that made you want to make him one of your head coaches? Yeah,
I think you said it well. I think my brother and I, we gel well with Mike because there's a lot of similarities between us. I think we're both huge fight fans. Firstly, before being a fighter, I'm a fan. I love all aspects of the sport and the game. I'll watch Muay Thai in my spare time. I'll watch boxing. I'll watch grappling, wrestling. I'm a huge fan before everything. So, and Mike's the exact same, 2.0. When I first got together with Mike, and he would show me his files on his phone of all the positions and all the details of specific moves, I was like, wow, this is me and Javid, So I think that's the reason. That's one of the reasons. Other reasons is he's got a wealth of experience, and he's just an excellent coach. And the third one is on a personal level, he's a real chilled out guy. He's open to because sometimes I have ideas and thoughts, and he's not the type of coach that's like, no, you gotta do it my way, or it's my way, the highway. He's like, what do you feel about this? What do you think here? What do you? And I really appreciate that. So yeah, Mike's the man. He's outstanding.
So right before, or I guess right when we started the show, we were letting people know you were going to be a little bit later. We kind of started talking about your last fight, which there was a lot of kind of interesting things surrounding. Victor Hugo missed weight by, I think, 10 pounds, right?
Yeah.
And I heard through the grapevine that you didn't even get like a percentage of his purse. Like, how? Just explain to us that fight week and kind of how all of that went down.
Yeah, it was unusual because I got there as usual. Like fight week, everything was normal. My opponent turns up on a Tuesday, so like the normal day. But the only thing is, he was flying in from Brazil to Abu Dhabi. I'd already gone there like 2 weeks before to acclimate with the time zone and everything. So I already had a feeling, and majority of his fights were at featherweight already. I think he's on his last 2 fights prior to me, Contender Series and his UFC debut was bantamweight. So I already had a feeling. I was like, something's a bit fishy coming all the way from Brazil on fight week. He's known to be a feather, and I had a feeling, in my gut. But whatever, you focus on yourself. And then Thursday night we start cutting. I'm very well, good job. Go to sleep, good weight. Wake up early Friday morning, continue cutting, and as soon as I finished cutting, I made weight. The nutrition, Charles from the UFC nutrition team, comes to me and says, we have a bit of a problem. Your opponent's missed weight. So I was like, how much? Because I was thinking, all right, maybe we can work something out, or if it's like a pound, I'll just take his percentage and we keep fine. He said he's 10 pounds over. And I was like, that's not even close. How are you 10 pounds over?
Yeah. It's a different weight class. It's a different weight class.
It's a whole weight class. So
yeah.
I said to them, look, we only had about 30 minutes before the official weigh-in. So I was like on weight 30 minutes before. We had 30 minutes. So in that 30 minutes, we're trying to call Sean Shelby. The time difference, I think he was asleep. Then I tried to call my manager, Ali. He'd just woken up, and I'm calling my brother also. And we're having like a 3-way call, what we should do. We tried to get Hugo to cut initially as much as he could. He said, no, I'm not doing it. Then we said, let's do 140. He said, no, I'm not doing it. And then the UFC kind of just gave me an ultimatum, and they were like, look, man, the guy's not cutting any more weight. We either have to cancel the fight, or the only other option is we literally changed this fight from bantamweight to featherweight. And he's made weight for feather, and you're obviously way under. So I was like, I hadn't fought in 10 months. I'd flown all that way. I did a long, crazy camp. I was like, I believe in my skill sets. I think I can still beat this guy, and I got the job done.
Wow. What a story. What a story. Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I appreciate you telling us that story. That's phenomenal. Me I have an older brother and a younger brother. So I would love your insights, the same as mine. When we all grew up, we played sports together, basketball, baseball, football, all that stuff. And it's funny, every single time my older brother was great, and then I was better, and then my younger brother was better than us, because you have to move up the chain. You have you always play ahead. With you having an older brother who's a high-level mixed martial artist in the UFC, was it the same for you? Were you always kind of like trying to be the same as him, elevate to him in age and all that nature?
Yeah, 100%. Man, I'll be honest, our competitiveness I believe is what got us to such a high level. Right. If you, like, I'm sure Ellie will tell you, like at some random point, you'll see us arguing and bickering on the mats even, because we're just so competitive, We'll be like, do it like this, and I'll be like, no, do it like that. And your brothers, so you grow up together your whole life, and there's going to be that competitiveness. But yeah, ever since like we were 5-6 years old, we were always competing, whether it was soccer or like when we were young we did taekwondo, whether it was the PlayStation, anything. Me and Javid were always competing, because we were close in age also, And obviously we started our training at the same time, but he turned over to amateur and professional before I did. So I was constantly catching up to him,
Right.
And he's always been like a marker for me. Like, he set the blueprint, and I'm always trying to catch up to him.
That's amazing. I love it. What soccer position did you guys play?
We moved around a bit. We ended up settling at right back, and he was
Yeah.
also kind of center mid, right back, center mid.
Good
Yeah.
spots. Good spots. I love it. I'm
You always played on the same team together?
No, he was always the age group above me.
Oh, I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
We're so I have 2 sons and 2 daughters now, and they're doing the same thing. So they're all in soccer right now, but they're in all different age groups. So I know exactly what you're saying.
Dave, dad of the year.
No,
Dave
no.
Like, he has 4 kids and he coaches every single kid's like every single sports team. I don't understand.
That's impressive. Hey, the most important thing is to give them your time, isn't it? So
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and money doesn't matter. Money comes and goes all the time, but time and memories forever. Talking about times and memories.
Yeah.
Undefeated in the UFC. Keep on making memories. UFC 320 is around the corner. This Saturday, UFC Noche. I would love your take. Big main event, featherweight division. Diego Lopez and Gene Silva. Would love your 2 cents on this fight. To me, it's a really close fight. The betting odds has Diego Lopez as a major underdog. I don't believe that, but I would just love your 2 cents on it.
Yeah, I think it's a close one. I think it's close to 50-50. I think John Silva, being from Fight Nerds, they've built a online presence. There's a hype about them, so that's why the odds are probably stacked in his favor.
Good point.
If I'm honest, I mean, I'm a big fan of the Fight Nerds. I love what they're doing. I remember me and Javid, Kyle Bajalio and his coach, Pablo, the head of the Fight Nerds.
Yeah.
He spent a bunch of time in Las Vegas, so me and Javid got a bunch of work with them. They're really good. I'm a big fan of them. Diego Lopez is a juggernaut. You know, he takes your shots, comes back with his own stuff. I'm leaning towards John Silva.
Okay.
I think John Silva gets it done because I think he's got a lot of power and he'll hurt. If Diego takes the shots like he tried to against Volk, I think he'll get hurt against John Silva. And also, Diego is very, very dangerous in the first round and tends to fade away. Usually, tends to fade away. In the Volk fight, it wasn't so much the case, but usually he has a great round 1, and then like you saw in the Ortega fight or the Movza fight, Danige fight, he kind of fades away.
Yeah.
So I'm going John Silva. Momentum's on his side too.
Respect that.
I think it's such a toss-up. It's such a close fight. I feel like we haven't even really talked about this opponent coming up at UFC 320. Chris Gutierrez, he's been around in the UFC for quite some time. And I think he's kind of, he has a very distinctive style. I think he's an opponent.
The leg kicks, right? Very good at leg kicks? Okay.
Very good kicker,
yeah.
You know what to expect. Is there anything, I guess, specific that you've kind of noticed through your film study and your camp that you're looking to implement in this fight?
I think with Chris Gutierrez, he's such a veteran. He's had a lot of fights. He's a very, very good opponent. Not taking him lightly at all, but I just feel like you kind of know what he's going to do when you go out there, you know? And what he does is very good, but I do believe it's limited, you know? He kicks very well. He does everything very well, but I just feel like the advantage I have over everybody is my well-roundedness and essentially I could take the fight where I want to, whereas he's kind of needs to do what he can only do his thing, and his thing is very good, but I feel like it's kind of all he's got. Whereas I could play his game. I kick very well also, but I could also box very well. I can wrestle very well. I can grapple very well. So I'm definitely looking to, you know, show my full skill set. But I think that would be my biggest advantage, the fact I'm more well-rounded than him.
Love it.
Absolutely.
I can't wait for that fight, Al. Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I know we didn't get quite as much time with you as we'd liked. So I definitely want to give you the opportunity to tell the viewers a little bit about your charity as well. I got a chance to ask Farid about this. So you're working with an orphanage in Afghanistan, correct? And they're building a school?
That's right. So this is Future for Orphans. It started out as a family. A friend of mine, him and his family, they started an orphanage in Afghanistan. They've done an amazing job. They started with, I believe, a couple of years ago, it was 4 orphans, and now it's over 100. You know, so they're doing an amazing job already. And now they have a project that they want to build a school for the orphans, and that's where I'm coming into this, and I'm hoping to raise as much money as I can through this camp and this fight, and all the proceedings and the money will of course go to building the school. which I'm very happy with. I'm very proud because this is something I've had on my mind. It's something I wanted to do for the longest, since I was young. I've always wanted to get involved in charity work, so it's, I would love for everybody to get involved and donate what they can, because it's going towards a really, really good cause,
I love it. I love it. Undefeated UFC fighter, soccer player, charity. What does not for?
Oh. Did Dave just freeze on us? I think Dave froze. Can you hear us, Farid?
Yes, I can hear you.
I think he froze for a second, but we really appreciate. We will definitely, guys. We're gonna drop the links to Future for Orphans in the chat, and guys, please share it. Obviously, spread the word. We appreciate your time so much, man.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. It's an honor for me to be here. Thank you guys so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you for. We'll talk to you after your win. All right. We'll talk to you mid-October.
Absolutely.
With a nice W.
Absolutely. Hit me up after I win. We will talk again.
Right away. Right away. Best of luck to you.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Look at that. One savage to another. I just saw it on social media because I get all these messages. I'm telling you, as soon as this show ends, go right to Instagram, go to savage_UFC, one of the great, funniest posts of the year so far. Gillian the Savage Robertson, the great Savage. Welcome to the show. What's up, G?
What is up, guys? How are you guys doing today?
Dude, that was a good post. That was a good post, G.
I didn't see this. What did I?
5 minutes ago. She was doing it in the green room.
How did you see it? It was 5 minutes ago.
Dude. I think that's why my computer phrase. I'm doing 5 things at once. Always.
I knew you were the problem.
Dude, how good is Farid Basharat, G? He's a stud. 13-0. Hasn't lost.
Oh, yeah. Both the Basharat brothers, I'm a huge fan of. Always have been since their first fight in the UFC. You could just see, like, the crispness in their hands. There's something special.
Oh, yeah. The way they move their feet, too. Watching them drill with each other. I told them one day, I was like, I'm so jealous of you guys. I was like, why couldn't my parents have just made another me and I could just have a permanent built-in training partner?
Oh, man.
I remember, this was years ago when I was probably like 19 or 20. Tammy Musumeci, Mikey Musumeci's sister, she was coming to ADT for a little while, and she said the exact same thing. She's like, yeah, I just go home and I train, and me and my brother, we drill in the garage all day, then we study, then go back to the garage and drill. I'm like, that must be nice, isn't it?
So jealous.
Must be nice. But it would be unbelievable to see one day Elle Dawson and Gillian Robertson train a session. That would be unbelievable. But G, the last time we've talked, fight announcements happen. Maybe people are texting some other people super early in the morning, but we made it happen. We did. But G, you got fight news, right? Can we tell? There's even someone here saying, "Hey, I'm not on Instagram. I didn't see it." So G, when are you fighting next?
So December 13th, I'll be fighting Eisman Lucindo. It's really like the only matchup available above me. Most of the girls are currently matched or have or just fought literally last week. Even Lucindo just fought recently. I just think she's a smaller girl. She can do a quicker turnaround, where I'm like, everybody's either just fought or has a match coming up. So she's pretty much the only one available for December 13th. And what I'm hearing is it's going to be in the Apex, which is just great.
That's
Apex.
Wait, it is in the Apex?
Originally, I was told it was going to be the last pay-per-view of the year, and then they moved it around. They moved dates around.
So this is actually quite funny because there was like a post that it was wrong, but there was like a random guy on social media was like, oh, this is the confirm. I think it was supposed to be December 6th. They like confirmed, this is 100% confirmed, the card for December 6th in the Apex. And you were on it and Grant was on it. And he's like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But
imagine Grant and G on the same card.
It's going to be in the Apex. You are in the Apex.
Yeah, they originally told me December 13th was going to be the pay-per-view day. And then I literally found it out through like other people, through like social media and stuff. And I hit up my manager again. I was like, hey, are you sure it's going to be a pay-per-view? So she hit them back up and they're like, oh, we changed it to the Apex. We put the pay-per-view the week before now.
Oh, so it is a pay-per-view now. That's wild. Okay.
The December 6th card is in the T-Mobile.
Yeah.
And
But usually on the 13th, gee, like the last couple of years, they've been coming to Florida. I don't know if you remember, like 2-3 years ago was in Orlando. And the last one was on Tampa. So I know, dude, this is what I was saying. Imagine if Grant, Dawson, and G was on the same cards. I might even have to buy Apex tickets. That would be crazy.
Ooh, I'll sit with you. You can buy my ticket.
Oh, I would buy your ticket. That sounds good. Sounds about right, El Dawson.
Yeah, so I'm super excited for this fight. Not super well, I don't even the matchup isn't super exciting for me, honestly. I feel like I would like something a little bit higher up at this moment, but I'm like, I don't know. It is what it is. I'm just happy to get back in there before the end of the year at this point. I'm happy to keep my name in the mix, keep me relevant. And even if we got to do it at the Apex, we're going to do it.
And G, just as, my 2 cents on it is, one, they're going to have a new champion next month. So for you to get a win, doesn't matter, where she's ranked. She's not, crazy. She's not out of the rankings by any means. But to me, get a win, especially a stoppage. If you get a stoppage, you're right in that spot. You know what I mean? Like I said, we don't know. Isn't Limoges and Suarez is fighting this Saturday? So like, who knows what happens in that scenario? I just feel like if you get a finish, that poster the UFC's been wanting to make of Gillian Robertson versus Mackenzie Dern could happen. Could happen.
Very well could be a title fight early next
Yeah, I was definitely really I guess, I don't know, have my eyes on this weekend, because I feel like it does depend almost who performs better, if it's me or Tatiana, because I think Tatiana does win this weekend too. And I'm like, I think that's going to determine who deserves the next title shot necessarily. Like if I can go out there and really put on a show, or if she can go out there, get a quick finish, I'm hoping we get a decision win maybe, I'm hoping it's nothing impressive and then I can go out and put on a show and really deserve my title shot. But I really think it's if she puts on a good performance this weekend, it's probably going to her first before me.
I think that's an interesting matchup. Oh, sorry.
Just guys, hey, Piera, very good mixed martial artist. Hopefully she has a great career in front of her. To call her a monster right now is pretty disrespectful. I don't think she's that great of a mixed martial artist right now in the fall of 2025. Just want to throw that out there. Just my 2 cents.
Fair enough. What the heck was I going to say before Dave said? Oh, I think that's an interesting matchup too, because I feel like Lemos and Tatiana Suarez is a fight where if Tatiana wins, I would expect it to be very dominant. While if Lemos wins, I would expect it to not be as exciting, if that makes sense. I don't know if you're in agreement there. So I think it would depend who wins that fight as well.
I think that, honestly, I just see it going Tatiana's way. I think Lemos might have a puncher's chance. She might be able to catch her, but I don't see her being able to stuff Tatiana's takedowns. I see it's a very dominant fight from Tatiana. I just don't see it going Lemos' way at all in this one.
You're not wrong. I'm with you there. But I would imagine if Lemos pulls it off, it's probably not going to be a firework fight. I would imagine it would be pretty close and not a super exciting matchup. But
a lot of the contenders in the strawweight division right now, though, a lot of really heavy grapplers right now. We got Virna, Mackenzie, Tatiana, and me. I'm like, we're just fighting for best grappler at this point.
Yeah, no, there are. And I feel like that's kind of been historically unusual in the women's divisions. Yeah. So it's especially good wrestlers. Like Lupi's a good wrestler too. You don't really you just don't see it as often.
Yeah, I feel like Lupi fell in love with her boxing a little bit too much. She was a really good wrestler when she first came into the UFC, and then now I'm I feel like you don't really see it as much. She really likes to just get into a gritty fight more than anything else.
Well, and it's been a detriment in a couple fights.
Yeah. I was going to say, I couldn't agree more. I feel like she has more skills and more talent than what we see on Saturday when she fights. I feel like she gets hit in the nose one time and she's like, all right, let's go. I forget grapple it. I forget, she's just I don't know. That's just, huh? Yeah. See red.
He's red.
But scratch fight, she was out wrestling her very well early in the fight. And then towards the end, she's like, yeah, let's box. And then I think you're right. She kind of was oh, I'm out boxing her in the second round. And then Andrade does what Andrade does. And almost won the fight. It was turned the tables pretty definitively.
Oh yeah, 100%. That fight, I'm like, it was a close third round because of that.
Very close, very close. Hey, we're very high-end journalists here in Fight Bananas. So this is a high-end journalism question for the one and only Gillian Roberts. They go, gee, random question. Do you find Nasruddin Imavov handsome? He's a decently looking guy. I don't.
I need to go. We need to investigate now.
Need a picture? Hang on.
Oh,
I mean,
solid.
He's not a bad looking guy. I wouldn't say he's my type.
It's 6.5.
Yeah, I'm like, I wouldn't say he's a bad looking guy.
Yeah. I didn't. We were talking about it before the show, and it seemed like both you and Elle were talking about you really think it's Fluffy or RDR. I think Imavov should be fighting Chimaev next. I think so.
We that he should be.
Okay.
We just don't think he's going to be.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, what should happen doesn't happen in the UFC. That's not how things work around here.
Right. One more question for you. Then we have another fun guest coming through this Saturday. G, not even one event, 2 events. It's the first ever boxing, big high-end boxing under this TKO UFC umbrella. I would just love your 2 cents. I know you're not the biggest boxing fan. Does this fight intrigue you at all? Does this make you want to watch it more that it's under the umbrella? Like, have you seen it? They've had embedded. The UFC's all in on this fight.
I definitely think it's huge for the UFC to bring boxing underneath the umbrella. I think, I don't know, the more eyes you can get drawn to the banner, the better, and especially under a banner like Netflix. I mean, like, that's absolutely amazing. Such a huge platform. Me personally, I'm like, I don't know. I've never been intrigued by boxing. Even, I will say, like, just the singular sports in general. I've never been hugely intrigued by just jiu-jitsu either, or just wrestling, or just boxing. I'm like, the sports by themselves don't fascinate me as much. I just like watching MMA. So I'm like, I probably won't be watching it, but I think it's great for the support.
I love that. I got another journalistic question for you, G. Can you give me, what's the name? If I say there's a fighter outside the UFC, maybe strawweight, maybe, flyweight, who's the best female fighter who's outside the UFC?
I think it's someone who had an absolutely amazing win this last week and flawless performance from start to finish. Anna Melisano.
Ding, ding, ding. Look at that. Question is answered. Welcome to the Fight Bananas show. Dude, by the way, greatest nickname ever. Bandana Anna? That's like that's the GOAT. Like, I'm a high-end savage person. That's a great nickname.
Thank you. It's actually a funny story behind that. Whenever I started boxing as a child, for USA Boxing, you can't have any hair like sticking out from under your headgear. So I used to like put on a bandana and I'd wrap all my hair up in that. And then, so I walked around in bandanas all the time. And then I posted some throwback pictures. And one of my teammates was like, Bandana Anna, we got to bring her back.
Bandana Anna. What a nickname. Anna, do you remember 3 or 4 years ago, you were training with G actually down there in South Florida? We had breakfast. Do you remember that day?
Yeah, that was the first time I met you.
There you go. All right. Making the espresso. Remember, it was like the funny hot tea. Someone was drinking. What else?
I said, so I'm the only one here that hasn't met Anna.
Yeah. Out of the loop.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Out of the loop.
I've actually seen you fight because we're both managed by Iridium. So I like saw you on their page a bunch. And I was like, oh, check her out. So I've been following along for a while now.
Oh, thank you.
Of course.
Massive fans. 5-1. Easily the biggest victory of your career. First round stoppage. Lydia Warren had a lot of buzz around her name over the last couple of years. Do you feel the same way that, Sunday was like, that was a big one. That was a big one for my career for sure.
Yeah, I felt like I definitely needed an impressive performance. But that's kind of exactly how I saw that fight going. As soon as I got that fight offer, I was like, yes, please sign the dotted line.
Was there a little bad blood in that matchup? I saw like you get the finish. And then you could tell there's like you wanna say something. You did a little dance by her. There was a little energy. Was there a little bad blood of this matchup?
Yeah. Okay. So low key, I did feel bad. I was in the moment. But yeah, like there, I mean, not that there was like bad blood. But just some things on the internet, her posting reels, just saying stuff. Her teammates were like calling me ET and stuff like this behind the scenes. And then at the weigh-ins, whenever I'd walked off stage, she did that little lasso thing whenever I walked off. So I was just in the moment, kind of probably gloated a little too much, but it felt good in the moment.
Just bandana Anna took over.
I know,
right.
yeah. You said that multiple times. Like you get a win, you black out. There's nothing.
No, she can
ever.
relate. Savage over there.
I know. And for me, I'm like one of the most pettiest people on earth. Ask Elvis. I have stories from 5 years ago that I hold grudges to this day. So if I don't mind that at all. If there's a little of this, go for it. Go for it.
What you cut out? What's up?
Oh, nothing. You texted me, so that got into me. But okay, Anna, back to you. Major growth. Like I said, I was lucky enough to run into you a couple of years ago. I've been following your career since. But there has been, to me, at least from watching you, a major uptick, like the stoppages and just seeing you, how you fight now. There's something has clicked over the last 15, 18, 20 months. What has it? Is it just training? Are you kind of just, 28 now? It's kind of, you're getting into the peak of your, career, profession and all that. Or just feel like you're in this sweet spot right now?
Yeah, I feel like it's a mixture of a lot of things. First and foremost, 5 years ago, I switched up teams and I ended up moving to Birmingham, Alabama. And that was the first time that I'd really been forced to actually wrestle and do jujitsu. So I had taken some MMA fights previously, but I was really just a kickboxer. Like I started off boxing and then went to kickboxing. And then they're like, do you want to fight MMA? So I was like, yeah, sure. And my thought process behind it was I have little gloves on and I'll just go knock these girls out. But that did not happen. I ended up getting out wrestled and submitted my first couple amateur fights. So I did make the move to Birmingham and started training more wrestling, grappling, and they've kind of just made me into a whole ass martial artist, as my coach likes to say.
Love it. Love it. Like I said, 5-1. Could be getting a Dana White Contender Series call. But can I ask you, is the UFC the goal, or are you happy with just any organization? Maybe like if the PFL, if they want to sign you, or not even that. Me and G talk about it all the time of like how great Dirty Boxing's doing, or Karate Combat, or any other sport interests you, or you, hey, I want to be in the UFC. I want to be a UFC world champion one day. That is that's my sight.
Yeah, I think all the other promotions, they're great, but for me, it's always been the UFC. So that's where I want to call home very soon, hopefully.
You just sitting by the phone waiting for the call?
I am. Been blowing up my managers. I'm like, so any word?
It has to be coming soon. I'm like, after these last couple performances, you've looked absolutely phenomenal. And I've told you for a long time, I believe you're at that level. I'm like, you really just performing on the stages that you are now, and there's no way that call is not coming.
And you're right in the middle of Contender Series season too. Like, this is the time, right?
I'm hoping.
I saw there's a name on your amateur record. I think in today's MMA industry, we do see a lot of people not taking as tough of fights on their amateur records. There's a name that stuck out to Dave and I, Carly Judice, who I'm a big fan of. She's so much fun to watch fight.
Elle loves her, okay? Elle thinks she's the second greatest fighter in the history of the sport. She loves her, okay?
I am right there with you.
I will never fight. That looks terrifying to me. I'm going to grapple with you every time. But she's so fun to watch. Tell us a little bit about that fight and just watching her go into the UFC. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, first and foremost, huge Crispy Carly fan. That is someone, like, from the second I met her, she was super respectful. You could just tell, like, when we went to weigh-ins, like people that are very experienced, they carry themselves differently, like they don't need all the antics and stuff like that. And she was just, I could tell by the way she carried herself. I'd watched her fights. I took the fight on like a 3-week notice. But they were like, hey, you want to come fight this girl, Carly? And I watched her and I was like, that looks like a fun fight. And my now husband and my coach and my manager were all like, Anna, hold on a second. Like, are you sure you want to take this fight on a 3-week notice? And he's like, this girl's good. She's good all the way around. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I kind of talked them into let me take it. Then we go to weigh-ins. I meet her, and I was like, oh, this girl, something's different about her. And then as soon as we started the fight, it was a title fight. So we went 5-3s, and we just stood in the middle of the cage and exchanged the whole time. It was awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That sounds awesome. I love it. So we're on this side of it, and we're lucky enough to pull G with us once in a while with her doing the shows and podcasting and some watch-alongs. Anna, like, are you a massive fan of this side of it, of podcasting and content creation? Do you not like this side of it and just really strictly on fighting? And if I said 5-7 years from now, would you be like, oh yeah, I would love to do whatever it is, commentary, podcasting, whatever this is, this side of it? Do you like it or not really?
It is something that I definitely need to get better at. I want to like it. I've never been the person that's super comfortable in front of a camera and like recording myself and stuff like that. But it's definitely something I think is amazing. And if I, over the next couple of years, grow and do become better at it, then for sure. But I think at the end of this, I've always seen myself owning a gym.
Ooh, I like that. I like that.
Would you think you'll stay in the Alabama area, or maybe head a little further down south to Florida?
I absolutely love Florida. Every time I come and see Gillian, I come home and I tell my husband, I'm like, we could move there. I love Florida. But yeah, we won't stay. Do what?
No state tax. It's like free money down here. Like Florida pays you to live here. It's amazing.
I think the sticker price from Alabama to Florida might be.
I was just for funsies looking at apartments, and I was like, okay, that is like triple my rent for a 1-bedroom. Yeah, but we would probably end up moving away from the Birmingham area, away from Alabama whenever I retire and all this is said and done.
Yeah, I'm like, it was definitely a little bit of a shock to me moving to South Florida, figuring out how much a 1-bedroom apartment is.
Yeah. South Florida is different than where I live in Port Orange, Florida, with like it's a family place, I guess, but it's expensive. But it's the no state tax thing is a big thing. I couldn't imagine like you get a weekly check or a monthly check, however people get paid, I guess, and then like 10, 15, 30% of it's just gone automatically. I don't understand that. Like, why would you want to live in a place like that? It's wild to me. Wild.
Hey,
but, all right.
Yeah.
Back to fighting this weekend. UFC Noche. I love this main event. We've been asking everyone, do you like Diego Lopez or Gene Silva to kind of keep that fighting nerds together? Keep one of those O's together for the fighting nerds.
For me, I'm a big Diego Lopez fan, so I'm gonna go with him.
Love it. Let's go.
Do you feel like how do you think he gets it done? How do you see the fight going?
I feel like he's dangerous everywhere, but I think he's definitely grown over his past couple fights. And even through his losses, I feel like those were good for him. But I think maybe we go in there and we get a knockout.
Ooh, I love this. Dude, Bandana Anna, 5-1, 28 years young, a massive long career in front of her. Is there any sponsors you want to shout out or your socials, anything? The floor is yours. We'll give it to you and we'll let you run. We appreciate your time.
Thank you guys so much for having me on. Of course, I want to shout out my team, everybody back at Spartan Fitness, SVG Alabama, and then, of course, my management, Jason and Eric. You guys are amazing. Team Iridium. But thank you guys for having me on. If you want to follow me on social media, it's bandana_Anna C.
Dude, that's one of the best nicknames ever. That is so good. I love it. Massive fan, Anna. Always good to talk to you. Hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, chat soon. Thanks, guys.
All right, there you go. Bandana Anna. What a stud. 5-1.
It's a bad time.
Dude, G, appreciate it. Like, dude, you brought that. I remember we were doing some kind of video. We did some kind of video with you is 4 or 5 years ago. I remember it was an all-white gym, a grappling gym, and it had big poles in the way. Do you remember that?
So originally I met Anna a long time ago. Me and Dean went on a road trip up to Wonder Boy's school, and she was training there. So that's originally where I first met her. She was training under Wonder Boy. And I just went up there for like 2 days. Me and her sparred. I was like, this chick is good. And then whenever Dean and I were kind of doing our own thing, we were training in Port St. Lucie. That's where Dave met up with us in Port St. Lucie. It was actually at Indoor Martial Arts in Port St. Lucie. It's a little tiny school, but we went over there, got some work in, and it was just like me, Dean, and Anna just mixing it up. And I'm like, I think I brought her down for 3 or 4 camps at this point. I think she has the perfect style to counter me. Like she's my kryptonite, you know?
Yeah.
Her type of style is like the hardest style for me to fight. So I absolutely love bringing her down for camps because she just pushes me every single time. She gives me such a challenge. So I'm like, it's a perfect look for me, especially when my last couple of camps have been against great strikers. So I'm like, that's exactly what I've needed.
I feel like every time we've talked about talented fighters outside the UFC, Anna has come up, and it's kind of strange. We've waited this long to have her on the show, so I'm glad we get to finally chat with her.
Yeah. It was fun.
I was gonna say, I've told her for a while. I'm like, the UFC is calling. They're calling. They have to be soon.
It's so funny.
Girls. Sorry, Dave. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm sorry. I'm a second behind. My Wi-Fi's wonky. But on Sunday, you guys talked about her, and I put it into the app that I put stuff in to create content. And then that was the first thing. They're like, that was the first thing. And I looked her up. I was like, holy crap, she's fighting tonight. So we posted that. She said, thank you so much. She's like, you guys are awesome. I was like, dude, after you win, come on the show. She's like, done. It was just like quick. I even texted G after. I was like, dude, Anna's coming on Tuesday. So yeah, we never had her on the show. Pretty wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Also funny you bring up Wonderboy Thompson in this gym, because pretty soon our next guest, G, I don't know if you've seen this movie. Elle really got me into it. It's Paperweight on Amazon Prime. It's like an hour documentary kind of.
Really
it's about
good.
a musician who wants to, have one MMA fight. He's like kind of in his 20s, just a normal dude. He's going to come on the show here any minute, but like not overly like athletic. I don't want to, you know what I mean? Not the craziest athlete of all time, but wants to fight. So he goes into a whole camp and he trains. What is it? It's Upstage, right?
Upstate karate. It's
Upstate karate. And then at the end, he kind of has this little fight with Wonderboy. It's awesome. So go see it. It's on Amazon Prime, G. Pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome. I've been diving into documentaries like hard lately. So that's definitely the next one on my list now.
I feel like we don't get a whole lot of like great raw MMA docs anymore. Like we just haven't seen very many. So I thought it was really cool. It was very fun. And it's short too. Like it's not super long. Like you can watch it in an hour. Highly recommend.
Yeah, for sure. And actually he's just in the green room. So we'll introduce him. And then after that, G, will let you run talking about it. Andrew Oliver for Paperweight, Amazon Prime.
What's up?
What's up, Andrew?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. How are you, dude? We just sold it. We got you another buyer in Gillian Robertson. So there you go.
Heck yeah, I heard you glazing us up here when I was waiting in the green room.
Happy to. All true.
Very cool. Well, G, we appreciate you. We'll talk to you over this weekend. Wish we would be there live in the same area, but maybe next time. Maybe next time, G.
Maybe next time I'll get you guys.
All right, there you go. The great Gillian the Savage Robertson. Later, G. All right, what a show. Keeps on rolling. Andrew Oliver, director of Paperweight, an absolute monster. Are you an 0-1 amateur fighter? How did that go? Was there an official record on that?
I guess I'm 0-1, the joke though, the paperweight belt, the paperweight championship belt, which you can see over my shoulder. What we say about that belt, typically to win a belt, you have to fight the belt holder, beat them, and then you get the belt. For this belt, you have to fight the belt holder, lose to them, and then you get the belt. So
is that a cardboard cutout of you?
Right here?
Yeah.
It's my brother.
Just the background for the day. I love it.
I was like, hey, we need you standing behind me holding the belt, so.
Oh, I couldn't see his head, so I was like, is that just a cardboard cutout?
I love it. I was
like, we need you to be a statue. We need you to be a statue.
So you send out an email. I was like, cool, let's do it. We love new conversations, new things. We went back and forth. And then over the weekend, Andrew, I got 4 kids. I'm super busy. There was UFC on, so I'm doing a lot. I didn't watch it over the weekend. Elle did. So Elle reaches out. She's like, Dave, you got to watch this. Like, this is awesome, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, let's go. So I watched it yesterday. this thing's incredible. Andrew, this I liked it a lot. There's so many parts here. I got like all these big points I definitely want to get across, but I just definitely not even trying to sell it. It's an hour of great content. Very, very fun, very quick, very easy to watch. Was that a part of when you were making this, like not making it too long, not making it too short? I felt that hour was a really sweet spot for you guys.
Well, I appreciate the kind words for sure. And yeah, it definitely has a tight, forward moving pace. I really appreciated your words on it as well, Elle. And you kind of touched on that in the piece. We didn't want to overthink the story. It's kind of had a very logical forward moving feel to it. And we didn't stray from that, and this is a big team project. Myself, Dan Johnson, my co-director, my brother here, he was a big role in the film as well. Stephen Oliver, obviously Weston Wilson, who was kind of the connecting force that brought us into the MMA world to make it all happen. And then of course, Wonder Boy bringing us into, Upstate Karate and providing us those honors. The whole thing was a huge team project, but, we're super stoked. We wanted to make something that's a fun movie to watch. It doesn't take itself too serious, and it's meant to be something that's genuinely entertaining. And if it comes off that way, then we're happy and we feel like we did our job.
Yeah, and speaking of Weston Wilson, I know he is in the green room already. Dave, you want me to go ahead and bring him on as well?
Oh, please, yep.
I don't know if you saw that. Hey, Weston, thanks for.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Wanted to pull you on for the first question I was going to ask Andrew, because I wanted to know just how did the connection happen between you two? Were you guys already friends? How did this happen?
It actually happened through a common friend of ours. He's my physical therapist, and so Matt Hannon, who was in the movie, he's the one who brought it up to me and was like, hey, would you be interested in syncing up with him? With Andrew. And so then we went to Starbucks and had several different, meetings where we pitched different ideas on how it could all happen and come together. And so, yeah, that's kind of how it all came about, is through a common friend.
Yeah, I had told the idea to Matt, and Matt was like, I know Weston and Wonder Boy, and honestly, I didn't think they'd be super into it, because like I'm not from a fighting background, this their world. That's not really my world, and Weston jumps all over it. He thought it was a good idea, and I guess the rest is history. So
I could say, and I said this to Elle right afterwards. Weston, I'm not glazing you, my man. We're an MMA channel podcast. I thought you were the star of the movie. I loved everything about you, the personality of it.
I
of course,
appreciate it.
In the UFC career, I just thought you were a star. I thought you popped. So just massive fan of you, my man. Just really, really loved you in that part of it. But for anyone that hasn't seen it yet, and guys, make sure you can go watch it on Amazon Prime. I'm going to push a button right here called Paperweight. It's an hour documentary. It's if I could say, it's a regular kid, a musician who wanted to say, hey, can I do this? Can I train, have a camp, and fight at the end of it? Andrew, did I do it justice there? Is there anything? Is there any major points that I missed there?
No, I think you did it justice. The log line that we've been saying is what would happen if you took an average guy off the street and put him in the octagon with one of the best fighters on the planet. It's just like everybody's watching the fights at home on their couch, screaming at their TV, everyone's armchair quarterbacking. Well, it's like, what happens if you actually take that person and drop them into that environment? What's really going to happen? And that's what we tried to do. So it was a lot of fun, and it was a little bit painful for me at times, I will say. But.
And I appreciate you kind of doing that. Like, as people in the MMA community, I think it's very common for there's a healthy level of delusion when it comes to MMA, and there's a very unhealthy level of delusion. So I love that quote that you gave us in the email that we dropped into the article, just for the armchair quarterbacks of the world. What do you feel like after having experienced that? Do you think most people would be genuinely surprised at how difficult this is and what it felt like to have somewhat ill-intentioned strikes being thrown at you by a guy like Wonder Boy Thompson?
100%. Like even myself, I'd like to think I'm somewhat, self-aware and at least decently humble. But even I was like, okay, I'm not going to be good at this. I've never trained. But I was so far behind where I even thought I was going to be. I thought I was going to, fall short here. I mean, I fell short way down here, So yeah, it's crazy. And it makes a lot of sense. These guys dedicate their life to these skill sets and they're the masters of their trade. And if you've never done it, it's something else.
The Wonder Boy part too. So when that all came about, I was like, all right. I was like, first 3 minutes, I was like, just play around with them a little bit, throw a few hard strikes, and I was like, in the second round, then just stop them completely. And so Wonder Boy's like, all right, sure. And he went way harder in that first round than I thought he would, because he landed a side kick. I think it was in like the first couple. It was like in the first couple exchanges. And that thing had some heat on it. And I don't even think I would like willingly take a side kick like that from him and be okay with it. So yeah, Wonder Boy, like he definitely slipped a couple extra shots in there that I didn't anticipate him to land.
Were you at all surprised, Weston, by how well Andrew did with the training process? Did anything like stand out to you where you were a little more impressed or maybe less impressed than you thought you'd be?
The ice bath. Andrew handled that ice bath like a champ, better than I did. So, no, I honestly, like, the whole experience was fun. I've always enjoyed like taking guys, coaching them up. For me, my favorite part was grappling with Andrew. I'm still trying to get him to come to my class full time, be one of my full-time students in jiu-jitsu. But yeah, I mean, that was fun. And just having all the different teammates come in and give different looks. I mean, it was a good experience for everybody in the gym.
What part did I excel in? The part where I just had to sit in some water.
It's funny you said that. I literally had 4 points. It was the ice bath. It was Weston. I thought it was so amazing. You're like, hey, I'm going to do a leg, an arm, a leg, and then the head. I thought that was incredible. Brown Beauty. Guys, we've been on for 20 minutes, 15 minutes. We haven't mentioned Brown Beauty.
Oh, man. Yes. That was
part of the show. And then the fight itself. I thought it was incredible. And then, Andrew, I loved how honest you were about, like, not even it was some of the techniques. It was just like the cardio, like how much your cardio zapped or got sucked out of you with getting hit for real and all that stuff. So I thought those 4 points jumped off the screen to me. So Brown Beauty, Weston's jit skills, the ice bath, and then of course the fight itself was incredible.
Yeah, honestly. So I will say, because I think after that you guys all started working with Josh pretty regularly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Andrew, his cardio and his mental toughness, I'll say that. The thing that Andrew excelled in was he was mentally tougher than the majority of people who come off the street.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, you got to be mentally tough to like go in and perform and in any sense, you got to be mentally tough because you've got to be able to deal with, emotional drama, physical drama, and being able to just play music over and over again. And yeah, I mean, that does require a set of mental toughness that you wouldn't have just off the street.
Speaking of your music, did your voice come back after? What happened?
It came back within about an hour and a half. This is actually a crazy little tidbit. So that scene with Wonder Boy, the fight scene, the infamous fight scene, it went the way it went, at which you could see in the movie. And then at the end of the fight, I lost my voice. And it was, I think, a combination of adrenaline. I didn't have any water in my corner, which was a mistake in between rounds. And so I got real parched.
My bad.
Yeah, thanks, Weston. Well, so I lost my voice for about an hour and a half, but we actually had to drive from that scene to an award show for our movie that had came out the year before. It's a different movie. And so I'm driving to this award show, and we were running late because we just shot the scene. This is the way schedules worked out. And I'm like terrified that my voice is not going to come back for this award show. And if we win an award, I'm going to go on stage and give an acceptance speech with no voice. My voice ends up coming back, and we did win an award. And so I walked onto that stage, gave a little acceptance speech with a freshly broken rib, which I would find out later that week that I broke a rib from that final scene. But yeah, that whole like 3 hour window was an absolute whirlwind. Broke a rib, lost my voice, had to run on stage and give a speech for an award show.
We got people in the comments. This is your movie, How to Break a World Record. This is what you got an award for.
That's the movie. That's it. Shout out Ryan White.
Love it. Well, we live in 2025, and it seems like any successful movie, they become, series or there's a second one. And then, if you have a Marvel character in it, you get 3 of them or 6 of them. Andrew, is there any chance we do this again? Is there any chance, it's a family member that does your role, or maybe it's a podcast host? Can we see a sequel?
And we'll see, I guess if the movie does really well and someone who wants to write a real big check, I think we'd all be down to do a number 2,
Are you planning to fight again? Like, could it be an Andrew Oliver's path to his first amateur fight documentary?
There's things I wish I could have done different in that fight. I definitely, when you're making the movie, right? And again, we had an awesome team, there's so many of us involved, but like, I'm thinking about a million things, right? I'm thinking about lighting. I'm thinking about cameras. Like, is everybody here? Like, does everybody know where they're supposed to be? We're also going over staging and like dialogue. It's not a scripted movie, but we're going over like, where should I walk in? Who should I talk to first? You kind of got to stage it a little bit. So I'm thinking about everything except this fight itself. And so by the time I'm walking into the center of the octagon, I'm like, oh crap, what am I supposed to, my brain was barely even there. And so there's part of me that wants a little bit of redemption. I won't even lie to you. I won't even lie to you.
I love it.
So you just want to take on Wonder Boy again?
I'd give it another shot. Yeah.
Let's go.
Part 2 is you take on me.
Yeah.
That's what I was going with that one. Come on.
I'm just kidding.
The master the master versus student. That'd be a good storyline.
Any scene that we can get Weston in would be a good scene to me. But Weston, I think I got to pick your brain this weekend, right? Saturday, UFC Noche, someone that you were in the octagon with, Gene Silva, is fighting Diego Lopez, who's a major bet and underdog in this fight. We talked about it for multiple hours already. I think I'm leaning Diego Lopez. I think him having Volkanovski and a championship type of fight and being there for 5 rounds. I like Lopez in this spot. I know, like I said, you fought Silva. You felt it firsthand. What do you see happen Saturday at Noche?
So I'll say this: Silva's not the hardest hitter that I've gone with. Like, he didn't knock me out. It was more standing TKO. There's other things that went into that, like bad weight cut, botched weight cut, things like that. I still made weight, but now that I've seen all the fight nerds, I've found some common patterns in their fighting. So I'm gonna go really like fight nerd deep with you guys.
Love
it. So you look at both of the Rufi, Prates, and Braulio, they all have lost now. I think Ian Gary laid out the blueprint, and this was the blueprint that I actually sent to Diego Lopez. We have the same manager. They contacted me about the fight and everything else. So the fight nerds, they're very heavy on that back foot, so they like to kind of lull you in, and then they come and explode forward. They don't do well, though, when you force them to fight on the back foot. And so if you can force them onto the cage, and where everybody makes a mistake, and where Bryce Mitchell made this mistake, is once you get their back to the cage, don't shoot on them, pepper them with shots, because they're not as good with their back on the cage. Amavov beat Braulio with just that. Saint Denis destroyed Rufi by pushing him to the cage, getting him, and then, as soon as Rufi would try to come forward, he'd get him in on the shot, take him down. And so what I told Lopez is, if he backs you to the fence, that's when I'm going to wrestle. So when my back gets to the fence, I'm going to start looking to wrestle. I'm going to look to start taking him down, so that then he's forced to grapple in the open, which even in my fight, when we did go to the ground, he went right back to his feet because we were in the open. We weren't on the cage. So I think Lopez, if he follows that game plan, he's got the boxing, he's got the durability that I think he can withstand a lot of the Gene Silva brawls. And I think if he can force him to the cage, and the only time I've seen Gene Silva lose a round was against Kevin Valeneos, or whatever his name is in that first round when Valeos got him to the cage and was peppering him with shots on the cage. So I think it's a big flaw in all the fight nerds is they don't fight well with their back on the cage.
I think it's interesting too. You have a guy like Lopez who has very heavy forward pressure, is always willing to walk forward. And then if you compare that to how Santini was fighting Rufi last weekend, just spamming these body kicks, really keeping that right arm chambered. I'm very interested to see if Lopez presses the action, which I expect him to. I don't think that guy's scared of anybody. Classic, tough Mexican, Brazilian style fighter. But
he's got a great mustache right now. Great mustache.
Yeah. No, no, I agree with you. I think Lopez, like, he's got the pressure boxing. I haven't seen him in the UFC really, like, nobody's like backed him up. Volk had some really good success. I mean, Volk, and I'm sure that Silva is going to study Volk's game plan, but you've got to anticipate that Lopez is going to change it up. I think Lopez will wrestle. I know that he's been training out in Oklahoma State with what's his name, David Taylor. So his wrestling is going to be on point. I don't think Gene Silva's grappling can handle Lopez, especially later on in the fight. I think in rounds 3 and 4, you're going to see Lopez just out-grapple Silva.
I love it. Great breakdown, my man.
We think of the fighting nerds making reads. I know I won't spend too much time on this. Sorry. I feel like we're getting too off topic, but I think you're used to them making reads. Do you feel like we saw Prates maybe take a little bit too long over 5 rounds to make his reads with Ian Gary, right? And then he really only implemented in the 5th round. Do you expect John Silva to do something similar?
Yeah, I mean, I think Ian Gary came out because everybody knows that they're hiring data analysts to study and break down film. So that can be a detriment as well, because I know, like, okay, I know all my flaws and I'm going to fight way different than they would expect me to fight now. And I think Saint Denis did that. I think Amavov did that. Like, they fought way different than they anticipated. So then they couldn't make the reads that they had predicted would happen. So now that, like, all the footage has been out on the Fight Nerds and their fight prep, like, you can now use that against them. And that's what I think is going to happen. I think Diego Lopez is going to use that against them. I think they're going to anticipate Diego to stand in the pocket. I don't think Diego will stand in the pocket this fight. Maybe later on in the fight, but I think Diego's going to clinch him up and grapple him, which we haven't seen Diego do, but he's very good and has very good grappling.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him grapple with Mozart. Back to John Silva for a second. Is that the fight you were preparing for while you guys were filming Paperweight? Was the John Silva fight?
So actually, the original, my whole UFC career was like, there was only one opponent that I got to a full training camp to prepare for, which was Jekka. So my whole UFC career, I had 3 weeks or less to prepare for an opponent. Joe Anderson Brito was 10-day notice, short notice, that's fine. Gene Silva, I was supposed to fight Gabriel Santos, and I'd been preparing for him for 6 weeks. Then he pulled out, and we got Gene Silva for his debut. And to be quite honest, like, there was no footage on him. Like, we were searching YouTube, we were searching. The only thing I had was this Contender Series fight, and that wasn't a whole lot to go off of. And so I didn't have a single game plan going in. I was like, all right, I'll just wing it. And now, you know, looking back and seeing his career, and I mean, the dude's a stud. I'm not taking anything away from him, but I wish I had more time to prepare for that fight, because I think it could have been a little bit different. But yeah, if you also look at strength, going back, sorry, tangent here. If you look at strength schedule, Diego Lopez last 5 fights versus Gene Silva's last 5 fights.
1,000,000%.
I mean, the fact that the odds makers are counting out Lopez is just bananas to me.
It's pretty wild. Especially considering we saw the same thing with Baralho and Imavov. Sorry, Dave, go ahead.
Yeah, I said that earlier. We talked about on the show earlier. I was the same way with Imavov. Look what he was beating the best guys over the last 18 months. Kyle, one guy in Cannonier, but then they didn't fight in a year. I think a strength of schedule is very, very hard. But Andrew, real quick, back to you. Do you watch every UFC? Are you watching consistently week after week, or are you just kind of the bigger shows? How are you in a MMA fan level?
I watch probably 70-80% of them.
Okay.
You know, if it's, you know, I never miss like a pay-per-view. I watch most of the fight nights. So yeah, I'm pretty avid as a fan for sure.
So you went out to Wonder Boy's fight in Nashville. They were out there.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, other than like Wonder Boy or maybe Grant Dawson, who else are your favorite fighters?
Man, I like Diego Lopez a lot.
Yeah.
I like to hate on anyone that Weston has fought. So I'm rooting big on Diego Lopez this weekend. Gosh, who are some other ones? Derek Lewis. I've always loved Derek Lewis. So when we saw UFC Nashville for Wonder Boy's fight, that was like a bonus for us that Derek Lewis was the headliner.
Yeah.
I was one of those, I came into the sport during that, McGregor Diaz, that whole saga.
Sure.
That was kind of the years that I got into the sport like many others. And I've been watching pretty much ever since, Ever since I've met Weston, though, and Wonder Boy, it's just amplified even more, as you can imagine.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome.
We were kind of debating UFC Noche, you and I were, on like whether or not it was a good card. Like for a Noche card, you as a fan, but maybe not like I watch every single card fan. What are your thoughts of the Noche card? Is this one that would like be enough to make you watch the whole card, or are you just going to tune in for the last few fights?
I think it's middle of the road for me as a slightly above average fan. So I don't know every single fighter through and through on the roster. I'm not quite to that level, but this is a card I've been looking forward to seeing for sure. For sure. This one's been on my radar. And it's a 6 p.m. main card. So, and in the Eastern time zone, I'm like, oh, this is great. I don't have to stay up till 2 a.m.,
Yeah. Love that. Andrew, we've been selling paperweight all day. Multiple guests were coming through. We're telling them about it. Like I said, we watched it. Massive fans of it. Not even just saying it to say it. We really, really enjoyed it. But I would love your elevator pitch. You got 30 seconds, 45 seconds to talk to the masses here. We'll clip this up and put it out there, to reel them in. What's your 45-second elevator pitch to paperweight?
Yeah, for people who love to watch fights, it's easy to get emotional about it when you're sitting on your couch. But if you're in the octagon, standing across from that dude, from that guy, that killer, what's it going to be like? What's that experience going to be like? What's it going to feel like? If you've ever had those daydreams or those thoughts, this movie's for you. It's called Paperweight. It's on Prime Video. And it's a heck of a lot of fun. The making of the movie was a heck of a lot of fun. So we're super excited about it. We'd love for anyone who's a fan of the sport or just a fan of watching something fun and entertaining to dive in and check it out.
There you go. Paperweight on Amazon Prime. I'm telling you guys, Weston was an absolute star of this. All right, Weston, massive fan, dude. Just stay in touch. Definitely loved your performance in the movie. I thought it was great, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
There we go, guys. Andrew Oliver, Weston Wilson, Paperweight, Amazon Prime. Go check it. Appreciate your time today, boys. Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you so much, guys.
Pushing buttons. Gotcha, Weston. All right. That hour and 15 minutes flew by like it was 6 minutes.
I know. That was packed. That
was crazy.
This is very fun. Gable Stevenson is making his pro debut this Friday for LFA.
Yeah,
I'm super pumped for this. I think Gable Stevenson's a very special wrestler. And as you know, Grant and I love a heavyweight that can wrestle. Q Cain Velasquez. I feel like Gable Stevenson has the potential to be a very Cain Velasquez-esque fighter in MMA. I think he has the gas tank. He has the skill set. He has the athleticism and maybe even a little bit more durability, because that was Cain Velasquez's Achilles heel, a serious back injury, spinal surgeries, very difficult injuries to recover from. If Gable Stevenson can harness some of what made Cain Velasquez great and be a little bit more durable, I'm very excited to see that. Heavyweight is not my most exciting weight class, so I'd love to see him make a splash.
Elle, you said a very, very intelligent and great word and all that when you were talking about Gable Stevenson, and you said potential. He absolutely has that, and I hope you're right on that. I hope Gable knows that. I hope his management team knows that. Even if he gets a 9-second knockout or a 15-second monster win, we as a industry promote and push heavyweights too fast and too quick. Let him bake, let him develop, let him get skills, let him go through multiple training camps, weight cuts, whatever it is. Let him bake. I feel scared if he gets huh?
I said it's heavyweight. There's no weight cuts.
But you know what I mean? Like, I'm afraid that if he gets a 9-second knockout, they're going to put him on the Contender Series. And then literally by November, he's going to be on the Madison Square Garden card. And he's just not ready for that.
Like, they're gonna give Bo Nickel him.
Yes.
And they may have rushed Bo Nickel a little bit. I think he'll be fine.
Absolutely.
But they definitely rushed him to the RDR fight for sure. And so, yeah, I definitely think they can make a mistake here with Gable. Yeah. I would like to think, I don't know who's managing him. I don't know if
FRM.
Okay. I was gonna say, I don't know if oh my gosh, Ed Swaros is helping with that, because I think he's a very intelligent man. LFA has produced some fantastic champions that have gone on to look great in the UFC. So maybe he'll keep him in LFA for a little bit longer. Obviously, if the UFC calls, the UFC calls. But
yeah, and a little backstory with Gable.
Pieces in his ears.
He was a cornerman for one of those Aiden Ross shows down there in South Florida. Talked to super nice guy, was very pleasant, very nice. Talked to me for a quick minute. He was kind of mangling around talking to people. Sometimes he's Olympic gold medalist. He is a big, big deal. It could get to his head. I felt like he was a very, good dude. Just seemed like he had a good head on his shoulders. So just throwing that out there, just, giving you a little bit of insight. But Gable Stevenson Friday. I cannot wait. It's Noche Saturday. It's not during the day like Paris was just this past week, but it's a little bit earlier. They brought it 2-3 hours earlier, especially because we got Canelo and Crawford that night. But guys, Friday night, Elle and myself will be at Island Fights 91 in Pensacola. I'll be doing some commentating on that show. Cannot wait for that. And the next day, SSC, it's a grappling show. Same area of the Panhandle. I think it's around 30 minutes away from where Island Fights will be. But our Fight Bananas' own Elle Dawson will be grappling, trying to yank a woman's neck off her shoulders. Okay, that's
or just not get my neck yanked off.
Oh my goodness!
One or the other.
I cannot wait. I'll be commentating on that show as well. Elle will be FaceTiming Fight Bananas as she walks to the arena.
You may go live.
Yeah, it's gonna be so, dude. I cannot wait. I don't know why. I'm giddy about it. I cannot wait.
I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. Dave might be more excited than I am.
I'm definitely more excited than you are. Are we having a really cool meal Saturday before the show?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have a friend coming with you too, right?
Yeah. Asia Cortez, the lovely Asia Cortez, will be there with me, cornering, being my warm-up buddy.
I love it.
So, it'll be fun. She has a donut shop picked out already that we have to go to.
So, in Pensacola?
Yeah.
That's
really
good. Does it have iced coffee?
Probably. It's a donut shop.
If it has iced coffee, I'm coming.
We'll drive through somewhere on the way. Don't worry, Dave. We'll get you an iced coffee.
I cannot wait. And we did it. A lot of guests. I felt bad. We maybe rushed a couple, but I think we got a lot of people in there.
Packed show. Yeah. We were for a while. We were like, we're gonna have 2 guests. We're going to call it good.
I know.
It was a busy day, but I'm glad we got through everybody. Guys, in the comment section, a little bit. I did drop a link for Farid Basharat's charity, which is Future for Orphans. They are building a school for an orphanage in Afghanistan. So if you guys would like to donate, the link is in the comments. Can I star it? Is that a thing? Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I think you can. You can pin it. Also, Elle, what we'll do is we'll post a picture of that picture that we got, and then Farid talking about it, and we'll post it on our socials, Facebook and Instagram, stuff of that nature. We'll get all this content out. But guys, like I said, we actually have a watch along. Our main man from Boxing Bananas, Ray Roberts, I believe 2 or 3 different people from the boxing scene will be jumping in. We will have a watch along for Canelo and Crawford, so that will be under the banner. But Elle and myself won't be doing a lot of Fight Banana stuff because we will be working. We'll be commentating and doing stuff. We'll bring a lot of content for Island Fights. We'll have some fun stuff in that. But Noche will be a little underneath the radar. We'll be commentating and grappling during that time probably.
We'll be busy. There's a comment from Duke that I wanted to pull up. I'm assuming you're talking about Amosov Yaroslav. I agree. He absolutely should be in the UFC. I would be very surprised if he did not get signed.
Oh, wow. Breaking news. News.
No, I'm not breaking. I know nothing. I know nothing, Dave. Don't you dare.
So what's Dakota Ditchra doing? What?
I agree with Duke that he absolutely should be signed to the UFC.
Yeah.
We
haven't talked about that. Brian Battle signed with the PFL, and he is in the middleweight tournament in 2026.
And he's not even being quiet about his plans to go back to the UFC.
I
know. I'm
very
interested about that, which, I mean, good for him. He's being honest. Dude,
yeah.
I got to ask you something.
Wait, real quick, before you ask me, real quick. First fight, I'm calling it right. It has to be Brian Battle versus Dalton Rasta. Let's go.
That would be super fun.
Sign me up. Take our money, El.
That would be super fun. I agree. I honestly wonder how they're going to structure the tournament next year. Are they going to have the same, obviously be some of the same guys, but I wonder, obviously, if they do what they've been doing, Leon probably won't be in the tournament. So, or no, because Leon will have to fight
Fabian.
I'm sorry. Fabian will not be in the tournament. Fabian will not be in the tournament if he beats Costello. So I'm not sure. But yeah, Battle versus Info would be very interesting too. I'd be down to see either of those fights.
What was your point before I rudely interrupted you? And then we're leaving.
So Brian Battle, I understand he missed weight a couple times.
Yep.
I know we don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but dude had a winning record, put on some really exciting fights, and I feel like had a really solid fan base. I believe twice now, SD Dumas has had to pull out of a fight because he's been arrested. I believe that. I know it's happened at least once. I believe it's happened more than once. Am I missing something? That man still has his job, but Brian Battle lost his immediately after missing weight? Is that kind of surprising to you at all?
I don't want to talk about the latter, to be brutally honest, and we'll talk off air. But I will talk about this. And as a parent, this is all I will say. Sometimes it's not what you do, it's when you do it. Sometimes if me and Susie have had a long day and we're driving home and we've been out all day and we tell the kids, hey, please be quiet, don't say this one last thing, and then they go off on it, we're more mad at that than if we're in the car. We would be, if we're just on our way to the beach, we'd be laughing that loud too. Sometimes it's when you do it. And I really think it was when Brian Battle missed weight. I think the UFC was having it was like it was bad timing. There's probably some things you say to your girlfriends that you don't say to a loved one, to a parent or something. There's just, we have our own friends and different stuff. So I just think it was the wrong timing on that.
That's a shame, because I do think Brian Battle is UFC level. I do. Take that down. Rumor has it they roll dice when making decisions at the UFC. No, I understand.
That's not a rumor. I have fact of that, actually.
No, I feel like Dumas seems to be a liability, and maybe I'll be wrong, but to me that's how it seems. But we'll see.
Okay. Well, I really gotta go. I got kids to pick up and soccer practice to coach and all that. We'll see everyone definitely next Tuesday. No Ben and Bananas this week. I have no Sunday morning brew. We'll be out there on that thing, but we will have a lot of content. Like I said, we have a live watch along Saturday night for Canelo versus Crawford. Elle and I might do a live out there in Pensacola and just, maybe when we're eating donuts or something, we'll figure it out. But guys, we appreciate you. So thank you so much to Andrew Oliver, Weston Wilson. Go see Paperweight on Amazon Prime. It was worth it. I got it for $4.99, guys. It was phenomenal. Definitely go see that. Thank you so much, Destiny McCubbin. Absolute stud. She's doing her own thing. Love people trying to make it in this field. Shout out to her. Farid Basharat, 13-0, absolute monster. Bandana Anna, 5-1, going to be in the UFC soon. And then, of course, to the Savage one, Gillian the Savage Robertson. Thank you so much. Hey, you subscribe, Personal Stash. Thank you very much. We appreciate every single one of you guys. We'll see everyone next Tuesday live here in Fight Bananas. Elle, let's go win a grappling match. You're the best in the world. No one's going to beat you. Mackenzie Dern's got nothing on you. Let's go.